Ooh. Okay. 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 Let's get started. Alright. Hello, everyone. My name is Paolo Chassa. I am the Teen Librarian at the Govins branch of the Enoch Pratt Free Library. And today is the first of hopefully many, session of 2022 of the Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly, or Weekly Manga Drawing Lessons, or however you want to say. Anyway, let's go. It's a new year. Got brand new things I want to try out with this little program. Hopefully more people will come in. Hopefully more people will view it after we air. As I've said before, this program is brought to you by the Enoch Pratt Free Library, and as you can see, we are here to learn how to draw animated manga characters step by step in weekly sessions, to build up a binder of your best drawings, and to be a real artist. The supplies for the program will be available at the Govins branch on a first come, first served basis while supplies last. Last time I checked, we have over a couple of dozen just over a couple of dozen folders and supplies sets each. So if you want to do the traditional version of this take and make / online streaming program, come to the Govins branch and we're more than happy to set you up. To that note, we just got a shipment of more of this really nice 32-pound paper, courtesy of the Programs and Outreach Department of Enoch Pratt. Thank you kindly, guys. It's like the best paper that I've used outside of actual sketchbook and watercolor paper that just comes in a ream of 500 sheets. It is as I like to tell folks, you can do a lot of good with bad ink and good paper, but not a lot with good ink and bad paper. And so far, the 32-pound paper has been really good. That is, if you want to do all of these things that we're doing traditionally. In order to do all of this programming on a digital platform for digital distribution for the Enoch Pratt Free Library, we're currently streaming it online here on my YouTube channel under using Clip Studio Paint. Just to begin, to continue from the beginning, you can follow along by going to this tiny URL, tinyurl.com/Manga Drawing Lessons channel. It will take you to this live stream, to the channel, to this live stream, where all the live streams are recorded and kept. We usually stream every Tuesday, starting at 3:30. Basically once a week. The sessions are about an hour or so long, depending on A, internet connectivity, and B, my current stamina. I can only talk and draw for so long, unfortunately. And of course, There's also the limits of having to like pack everything up before we have to go home. Oh, I should also mention, as of January 2022, the Enoch Pratt Free Library's hours are from Tuesday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, due to the ongoing, what's called, COVID issue, unfortunately. But for now, all of our programming is done online in order to be more safe to both staff and patrons, including this one. Now, if you're new here or haven't done this before, readjust. If you're new here or haven't done this before, essentially we're going to go through a couple of the lessons I've had that I upload into the Google Drive, which is, I believe, tinyurl.com/manga drawing lessons. Hold on. This one. So this one. Manga drawing lessons drive, I believe. Could be wrong. Oh, hot dang. Anyway, I'll look it up and send it an email. Send it to an email the next time. Oh no, I sent it in an email for anyone who wants to send it to a listserv. Anywho, let's get started. Rather, let's figure out where we can start. Because all of last year essentially started with a book called Mark Crowley's Mastering Manga Volume 1. I've actually tried to go through Volume 2 to 3 to see if there's any difference in lesson, but it kind of starts at the same place, kind of ends at the same place, so picking one or the other, I'd recommend picking one if you're an absolute beginner. 2 and 3 kind of add more details to an already existing set of art fundamentals that he goes through again, which I highly recommend going through regardless. Now, as you can see, his start from the very beginning, in terms of just like equipment and very basic, oh, I'm actually cutting and pasting stuff, so it's not the entire book. Very basic of like, oh, do this to create like an anime style face, until lesson 2, until it becomes more and more progressively more complex, until you're creating entire anime figures using what's called in these more dramatic poses. I love it. It goes from, we're learning how to walk, we're learning how to run, we're learning how to kiss, and then we're learning how to fight. And of course the various classic poses that you can do. Now, it's a whole new year, and I wanted to kind of expand my own wings and to challenge myself and this program a little more by going to the next book that I would recommend, which is The Complete Guide to Drawing Action Manga, Step-by-Step Artist's Handbook by, it's called Shoko and Kotosawa. This book is available for, This book is available to borrow at your local Pratt Free Library branch or Central Library downtown. Just ask your librarian for a copy of the book, and we'll be able to hand one, let you borrow one, or put it on hold for you. Essentially, this is I've talked about this book before as the. I talked about this book before as the kind of jumping off point for the next set of lessons we're going to do. Or they're already done actually, because technically we dipped our toes into lesson 7 right here, which goes through kind of a more complex set of fundamentals of how to draw human anatomy, especially stylistic choices. I should mention again at the very top, all of the drawings and lessons and stuff you find in manga books like these are going to be heavily stylized. If you really want to start very, very bottom of art fundamentals, I recommend taking more art classes other than this one to expand your horizons and repertoire a little bit, and to look for books about not just drawing in a manga style, but just drawing in general. The drawing lesson, also by Mark Crowley. For adults, you'd want the drawing on the right side of the brain. I forget who the author was for that one. but and others about like sketching fundamentals, that sort of thing. Just to really expand the way you draw things and the way you stylize things outside of just manga and anime. Manga and anime is fun, and this is why I'm doing it, because I really do like the style. I want to explore that a little bit more, but otherwise I recommend like expanding your horizons outside of this lesson as well. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go through lesson 1 and try to use that in a drawing after we go through it. Now this, if you have this book already, or own a copy, or borrowing a copy from the library, this is actually on the very first page outside. No, not the very first page. The very first page actually shows off like a small gallery of the artist's work, and like kind of like a general how-to in terms of how to use this book, specifically focusing on blocking, a rough sketch stage to get your proportions and like where the body parts are in perspective wise, and then creating an outline and how to do that, and then what's it called, practicing tracing from references and other images in order to like put that in your visual library so you can use that again for other drawings. Let's go. But where it actually starts here would be on page 12, weirdly enough. That basically starts with the basics, and it's going to show you right here how to draw male and female figures. I should mention these are very, very stereotypical, like male and female figures. Weirdly enough, another book that had like really good, sorry, just readjusting my butt here because my it's giving me trouble. Oof, there we go. Now keep in mind, like, these body shapes are going to be very stylized and very simplified and not very diverse, quite frankly. Like, the only book that I've found that actively portrays, like, oh, you should draw your, what's called, these are the different ways you can draw your characters to be very skinny or very large, and, like, not have a value judgment on the other, is, like, a book about how to draw furries. And it's great because there was this really like chunky wolf that looked like a Siberian husky or like a big Pomeranian. It was very cute. But anyway, so just keep that in mind as we go along. So one of the first tips that it tells you is like to keep an angular build and form in mind for male figures and more rounded, soft, curved lines for female figures. Issues with that, but essentially it just goes to show you like the kind of the ratios you would have for various body types. The back would be joined together, where how the joints stand out. The side, movement in arms, etc., etc. Oh, I should mention that this is a lot of text and a lot of like advice because hands are very, very complicated. Once you get them down pat, you basically have an amazing skill for life because, good golly molly, it is just what's called. It can get very, very complicated. Same with feet, because they're basically hands, but like chunkier. Not quite, but you know. Anyway, what's called. So these are basically the very basics of our fundamentals that would get started, or a book of manga like this. Sorry, a manga drawing book like this, and I think we're gonna try. What's it called? I think we're going to try something relatively easy in terms of, actually, we're going to try with one of their poses, like this one in particular, see what we can glean from it and how we can, and see what drawing we can make out of it. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead. I'll switch over to SP. There we go. And I'm actually going to move this different. So right here. slipstream. Keep hydrated. There we go. And so what I'm doing right now is setting up CSP, or rather Studio Paint, in order to set up like drawing stuff, and I'm currently trying to find a reference picture of someone I want to draw over this frame. Also, my first thought was Sailor Mercury from Sailor Moon, because she's my favorite Sailor Scout. Okay, we're good. Okay. That is Studio. The Studio Paint is a different. Yeah. Anyway. Now. I have the book right here. So I usually have this area here is usually a screen when I usually draw digital art on my own time, and so I'm trying to rewire my brain to I don't have 3 screens, I only have 2, and this is just a graphic tablet. So instead of just drawing directly on here, I'm actually using this screen to draw and have to use the smaller screen on top in order to focus on my reference images and also the sprinting drawing. I don't have to do that because I have the book right here, and I completely forgot because I am old and decrepit. Alright. Blue. Purplish. There we go. Erase. Okay. Okay, so Mercury. Okay. Yeah, let's start with that beginning point. Just because it's not any easier because it's forcing you to kind of draw it as perspective, but it'll make for a fun challenge, I believe. So we are using I've been trying to use thicker pencils and stuff when it comes to drawing, only because it kind of lends itself to not focusing too much on the details initially, especially with the rough stages of sketching. To further away it is, the more. She has hooves. Oh no, she has hooves. Trying to draw while holding a book in another hand, as you can see, it's a little awkward. Like, the idea is, it's like the foot is there. There it is. Go. Okay. Essentially, we basically traced, quote unquote traced. I didn't actually trace it, but I did use this as a reference. And it's called the arm thrust backwards kind of creates depth, the way the muscles move, and it's called when you're bringing them forward. I might have to refine that a little bit, but essentially, let me see if we can build on this base to kind of refine. You can already tell there's a lot of effort, not necessarily this drawing, but like movement. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Hopefully work with it, but there, essentially flipping the canvas just to double check that the proportions look good the other way around. You're okay. So keep in mind, this is very much like the very rough stage of just making sure that all like bodies are in place, that sort of thing. The body is in the right place, the ears aren't like 5 different directions, that sort of thing. So please bear in mind, this is not what your drawing's going to look like at the very end, like even as much as like maybe 10-15 minutes from now. It's just the first layer. Cannot sit on this chair properly. It has this like weird bottom that forces me to go back like this. I can't do that. No support. Yeah. Flipping it back. Okay. Oh. I just realized I can do something here. What's it called? That I should have done initially. And that is zoom out, and then immediately copy and paste what's it called, the reference picture here. Like I said, Sailor Mercury, all known as Ami Mizuno. Yeah, Ami Mizuno. Checking out the stream. Stream is okay. Okay. Stream is okay. Stream is okay. Stream is okay. Up. Yeah, stream is okay. A little bit. Yeah, stream is fine. Yeah, need to stop worrying. Majority of these things can be done relatively automatically. Well, not relatively automatically, but you know what I mean. Actually, super down to think about it. Okay. A little big for the frame. Let's shrink her down a little bit by selecting all of this. Hold up. Oh. She's in another layer. Oh dear. Anyway, that's fine. Hairline goes, which means hair. It goes like a poop. This. And goes around back. Kind of poofs at the back a little bit, but otherwise relatively short. Big anime eyes. Tiny anime nose and great expression because they're running after something. Let's see. The neck is kind of hidden, so let's just focus on her sailor outfits. You know what? Like, this pose is kind of like manly in terms of like running as opposed to the gentle nature of Ami Mizuno. So I should have chosen like what's her name? Sailor Mars. That would have been more appropriate, but it's too late. I have created monster already. Okay. I didn't notice this before, but like the sailor suit is like actually sleeveless. I'm like, really? Like, okay. It's kind of cute. No, it's very cute, but like I didn't know it was like sleeveless like that. Or maybe I just didn't notice because it's like the sailor like collar, like top, no sleeves, and then like a glove from the elbow down, which is bananas to me. And then oh, the skirt that's around here. Let's see. Gonna make it a little actiony by allowing like the flow of the skirt to just curve around the leg that's going forward in order to create a sense of motion. Wow, I just realized how skinny her legs are. Yikes. Like no calves whatsoever. She's pulled long like taffy, like all of this other Sailor Moon characters are. Which is only a little weird, because like, ooh girl, where are your knees? Did someone forget to draw your knees? And of course, kind of easily draw. You can't draw the heel from here because, like, you can't, because of the way the toes are pointed, but like, yeah, she's definitely running. Oh, poor girl. Okay. I'm tempted to draw like a tiny Usagi here. Just with the big X, Sailor Moon bun. It's like, wait for me. This view is just like speed lines. Oh no, hold on. Speed lines were wrong. On the go, Sailor Mercury. Or Usagi being left behind. Anyway. Front stream. Let's see. Trying to see if I can pick this apart a little bit to see if there's anything that needs to be fixed at this stage. Because initially what we've done is block out where the body, or rather how the body is moving, at a specific perspective angle. And on top of the body, we've put basic details of the character, specifically the ones like from the top, like the hair, the bandana, rather, the tiara. Apparently this is a tiara, I didn't know that. Kind of makes her look super angry though. There we go. Less angry. The tiara, the Sailor Scout uniform. Oh, there it is. It's the bow in the back. How dare I miss the gigantic, huge honking bow at the back. Let's see. the details and how the skirts are flying in order to evoke that sense of movement. Um, I'll have to block those details in a little later. Shoes are okay. You can't see the heels because the way they're pointed. You have to work on the fingers a little bit better in the next pass, sketch pass. Otherwise, I feel like this is a good place to. What's it called? A good place to like stop at the sketching details. Rather, stop at the blocking stage and work on like maybe another more detailed sketch layer, so we can block out stuff like exactly where the feathers and ruffles go, that sort of thing. Because I feel like, hold on, one more check. And we've just switched. Oh, I should mention, if you're working traditionally, instead of using a digital art program like Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop, or Krita, or Fire Alpaca, which I should mention those last two are free. So if you have a computer that can handle it and like a graphics tablet, I highly recommend getting either of those two in order to like start digital painting. Plenty of courses available online, I should mention. Where was I? In Clip Studio Paint, like flipping your canvas is as easy as literally pressing the tilde button on the top left corner of your keyboard underneath the escape key, or at least it's underneath my escape key. I think it's more likely underneath the F1 key and next to the number 1 key on the QWERTY keyboard. Let's see. Machi. Tired already. But for traditional artists, the easiest way you can do that is get like a mirror or a hand mirror, or even your phone like acting as a mirror, and just like look at and put it to the right or to the left of your current drawing and look at it in that reflection to see if there's anything a little wonky with the flipped canvas. Now, weirdly enough, this is like this technique is a little bit, at least on the computer, has garnered a little bit of controversy, because you're going to look at it at one specific angle instead of like a different angle. Rather, the drawing is only supposed to look good at the angle you've drawn it on, but your mileage may vary. So I highly recommend you doing a little bit more research rather than solely listening to me, which would be cool. But like, more research is also cool. Let's see. Live streaming is okay. Let's see. Stream is okay. Still. Machi. I don't know why I feel so tired. I just do. It's the chair, I think. Maybe I just need more sleep. Either or. Anyway, so this would be considered like a rough... Hold on, what did I do? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I messed up. Okay. Or maybe I didn't. Oh no. Did I really draw all of that? Okay, this is a common mistake with digital artists called drawing on the wrong layer. However, this has kind of given us a fun way of looking at this. Specifically, like if you show this layer on top, you'll notice that like all the details that are on top of this what's called blocking layer are the things that are added to kind of show you like exactly how those have been used and added, which is nice and kind of a unexpected unexpected thing for it, but like, I swear I swear that I did not do that on purpose. Ah, heavens. Oh. You know, all of this could be easily. So all of this could be easily rectified if you just select the layer, or rather, it should be the same procedure for most digital painting things. If you select a layer, right click on it and just say flatten to the layer underneath, so it's just, instead of two separate layers, it's just one layer. But this has the fun added benefit of showing you the before and after in terms of what we've added to the drawing. Let's see now. Ooh. Oh, good golly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and flatten it. It's called. Going to duplicate this. And then. Oh, that's so wild. Look at that. This bananas and pajamas funky. Alright, I'm gonna duplicate this layer as well, so that these layers, what's it called? What's it called? I'm gonna go ahead and flatten this layer to the very bottom. Now it's like the whole thing instead, and I'm gonna use this layer on top. Oh, I'm gonna change the opacity of this one to a little lower, and I'm gonna go on this layer on top. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more detail. There. Minor brush. Add. Notice she's not looking at the camera, rather looking forward. Kind of gives her the Terminator look here, but man, I cannot sit in this chair. It is driving me bananas. Okay. Whenever you do sort of detail work like that, always reminds folks to step back a little bit, see where they are in terms of like the bigger picture. For example, notice that I was very much zoomed into like the face in order to give that more detail and like fill out the detail readily as what's called as time goes by. But it's best to understand like, oh, you probably don't want this much detail in this particular area while the rest kind of look like this for now. And it's a good reminder of how to get some more perspective. It's looking okay. Definitely need more time to finish it though. But otherwise, it would be a good place to start in terms of rendering and continuing drawing something. Let's see now. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. Anyway, so when it comes to like drawing something like this in motion, notice I did like a slight edit to the sailor cuff thing that that's both of her shoulders. The drawing by its definition is going to be static, even in like a very dynamic pose of just like running up and down like that. You can almost imagine them taking the next step. What's called taking the next step forward, that sort of thing. It still is a still image, and if you draw if we kind of don't give visual hints that the character is in movement, it will look stiff and it will look not stale, but rather it will look very static. And so, like, while drawing like the small details, since we're at that point where you know, probably fill out the rest of the gaps in terms of clothes, I've added instead of like flared pants or anything, like a mini skirt, a la Sailor Moon, in order to in order to kind of emphasize the lack of stillness and like full mood of this let's call it this character. Now, I think like the way that the rest of this quote unquote semester of or learning how to draw will be like going through the book and finding some interesting poses, seeing if we can recreate those poses in what's called the studio paint, and talking as to why, like, oh, this perspective is interesting. Oh, this posture is more akin to female characters because of X, Y, and Z, that sort of thing. But for now, the most we can glean out of this image and structure tends to be like, oh, there is energy in the frame, in the posture, instead of like a static T-pose type thing. Like it's going. It's going. Probably the reason why I'm tired like this is because I eat lunch usually directly before this program, and as such, like, I just want to take a nap. It's time to be in preschool again and just take naps all day. But no, there are important things to have to do. Okay. I think we can kind of end it here since we're about 5 minutes till. So like I said, quickly check the stream. Alright, so like we said, it's the way that the book, specifically the action manga book, is set up. It's less of like, oh, this is a step by step. It's like, oh, this is one pose that you can use, and like use that as a way to, again, add to your visual library, add to your pose library, and to like use that as a template, literally or figuratively, in order to like make your characters come to life. In fact, there's a bit afterwards that goes through like entire fight scene and how to get clothes right, and like to characters, what's called, and like so actions and reactions with like poses. Like there's like a punch pose, and then it teaches you how to draw like the opponents like taking a punch pose, which is really nice. And hopefully, I don't say the end of the year, but like we'll get there to show you how that works. Essentially, for now, the next session, I think we'll do a different pose, since we did a lot of introduction today, since the very first manga drawing lessons weekly for the 2022. Hope to see you guys, or whoever's watching, to the next video. Next video. For now, I'll go ahead and transition to the ending slate. Thank you for watching, and this has been Paolo Chasa of the Enoch Pratt Free Library. and the teen librarian of the Govan branch. And this has been Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly, available here in the Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly channel, um, courtesy of again, the Referee Library. Thanks for coming, y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and roll that